Honorable Chief Guest of today's program, Ismail Hussain, Secretary, Rural Development Corporation Division. Honorable Guest of Honor, Dr. Hussain Jilur Rahman, Chairperson of BRAC. Honorable Guest of Honor, Dr. Tufail Ahmad, Local Governance Specialist. Honorable Director General of BARD, Saifuddin Ahmad, Director General. Thank you very much for the invitation. And respected Director Research, Dr. Rahman. And I am happy to see stakeholders of rural development representing policymakers, administrators, academicians and practitioners, and some of the NGOs who are working in the field. They are here to contribute for programs of 25 and 26. It is nice to see all the people under one roof. I would like to take this opportunity to again reiterate the recent announcement of United Nations that is declaring 6th July as World Rural Development Day. I think we should mark in our calendar the celebration of World Rural Development Day on 6th July every year, because all the stakeholders representing different organizations are here. Keep one day to attract the attention of policymakers, administrators towards the rural development by organizing some kind of program, so that definitely add value to rural development activities what we are doing. Happy to see your training programs, research programs. Of course, I don't know regarding rural development where to start and where to end, because everything under the sun. I was just sharing with someone, even urban development is also connected to rural development. People are talking about urban development. The very urban areas are contributing to development of urban development, and migration of people from rural areas to urban areas are also complicating the issues in urban development. So they are all interconnected. Many things can be done in rural development with available time and resources. I could find best of the best programs, and I wish the grand success of all the programs, so that any program completed, let it give valuable inputs to policymakers and academicians, so that the outcomes are carried forward for future learnings. I would like to quickly take a few minutes just to highlight some of the critical areas and the good practices which are followed in Asia and Pacific. Probably in the afternoon onwards, when you sit for discussion, those areas would help you to arrive at some suitable programs. The first important area to me, the rural population lives in villages and depend on agriculture. They feed the nations. Majority of the developing countries in Asia and Pacific, they are struggling for safeguarding the food security. When I say some countries, they claim that they have attained food security, but what about next season? What about next year? What about next decade? So sustaining food security is one of the greatest challenge before all of us, because food is very, very important. On the other hand, other challenges are also added to threatening food security. Population is increasing, we need to feed them, we need to increase the food production. Land under agriculture is coming down because of urbanization, industrialization, conversion of agricultural land into non-agricultural purposes. That put more pressure on less land to produce more, it's very difficult for the farmers taking their socio-economic and educational background. Then migration of rural youth to urban areas, it's very serious here, but other countries are not exception. Everywhere this is a common practice. If all the young people, educated or uneducated, if they migrate to urban areas, who is going to take up agriculture and feed the nation is a big question, which is related to food security and of course climate change. So what we did in the past is going to influence our future. One of the International Food Policy Research Institute, the findings clearly indicates that by 2030, around 16% of the food production is going to be reduced because of climate change. So when we talk about food security, I think we can't ignore climate change. That is one important. So food security is one of the critical area for rural development. Many activities which I could see in training and research, they are all closely related based on priorities. And just I wanted to share some of the challenging areas may be useful to you. What is the solution? Solution is with less land to produce more, we need to generate high production technologies. That is the job of universities and scientists. The most important is transfer of technologies from lab to land. That is the responsibility of maybe extension functionaries coming under Rural Development and Agriculture Department. And global good practices clearly indicates that moving from individual to group approach is successful. Moving from production to market is highly successful. Moving from solely public control to public-private partnership is fruitful. And moving from manual approach to information technology development, developed tools, they are highly useful in transfer of technologies. And promoting subsistence agriculture is one way, but entrepreneurship promotion is the better way. So these are all some of the good practices which we have observed in different parts of Asia and Pacific. The second important aspect apart from food security is nutrition security. Once the people get food, they look at good food. The middle class and the urban people who can make payment, they look at good food and safe food and healthy food. I'm happy to see some of the professionals working for the Food Safety Authority are also here. So this is another area which is going to come up in future, and for that nutrition sensitive agriculture. See, starting from developing nutrition sensitive agriculture technologies and promoting through extension and reaching the farmers and consumers, that plays very important roles in the days to come. So sensitization is the key. Probably BARD and other organizations which are present here, you can play a very important role. The third and most important area is which has influence, tremendous influence on national economy, people living standards, impact on politics, especially in democracy. That is income security of the people, income security of the farmers, especially people who live in villages. Now for that, the good practices indicate that number one, the productivity of the little land what they are cultivating by bringing high production technologies. By adoption of high production technologies, they can increase productivity as well as profitability is one. That means the agricultural extension has to be strengthened. The second good practice is shifting our focus from production to primary agriculture to secondary agriculture. That is production-led agriculture to processing-led agriculture. I am very happy to see some of the processing-related programs are also proposed by BARD, but this this shift has to take place in the department itself. Whenever refresher programs are conducted, foundation programs are conducted, shifting from primary agriculture to secondary agriculture has to be sensitized to the people who work in the field. When we shift to secondary agriculture, the examples in different countries, they indicate that a continuous handholding and mentoring is required. Therefore, some kind of facilitation centers, because when we talk about processing, we need machineries, we need skilled manpower, we need technology. So, some kind of facilitation is required. Direct marketing can directly contribute to income security of the people. 40 to 60% of the income which the consumer, the producer share in consumer rupee, it is going to middleman, maybe local trader, commission agent, retailers. But by farmers take up the same role. No, he can also procure, he can also shift from rural areas to urban areas, and he can also sell. By training these people, the producers to take up different roles, this 40 to 60% of the income can go back to the farmers, and this is only way where we can double the income of the farmers. And some of the research studies clearly says that the farmers are occupied for 187 days in a year. It depends on the enterprise, but on an average 187 days. That is, half of the year they are occupied and another half of the year they are free. Is it possible to initiate on-farm, off-farm and non-farm activities? Happy to see rural tourism program. The God-given resources are already there. You have water, you have hills, you have rivers, but you can make it, make farmers a little bit more enterprising, and it can add a lot of income. In urban, how we can bring urban facilities into rural areas? It has two advantages. Number one, migration can be avoided. Number two, local employment opportunities can be increased. We have Ola and Uber in cities, but why not in rural Ola and rural Uber? Revenue model may be different. It can create lot of employment opportunity to the people. Is it possible to have, Ola tractor or Uber pump set? Everything can be given on custom hiring basis. It creates lot of self-employment opportunities which are sustainable, which the rural people needs it. And in urban areas, you want a painter, you want a person to repair your computer, you need a person to repair your television, you want a barber, you want a beautician, people can come to your house, they can provide the service. But even rural people, they want this kind of service, but not so frequently. But who is providing these services in the rural areas? So the hub of different skills, services which are provided to urban areas can also be given to rural areas, which can create lot of employment opportunities. When we talk about skill development, probably our focus should be on promoting this kind of rural companies. It is hub of different skilled people who can provide varieties of urban services to the rural people. The fourth important, already I have made a point of it, that is the climate change. The climate smart agriculture has to be promoted. So this instantly we cannot promote. Scientists, they have to develop suitable varieties. It takes generations. My friends from agricultural universities are here. You cannot, like a magic pull out a variety. You have to start experiment today, maybe after 5-10 years you can come out with a variety. So, popularizing climate smart agriculture, sensitizing starting from scientists, extension workers, most importantly farmers is also very important. And lastly, innovations. We need to promote innovations. Everything is changing. If you are not changing, probably that is not good for the changing society. Is it possible to promote large number of startups in rural development? Startups are promoted by brilliant young people having innovative ideas. These areas are not addressed in formal system because of some reasons. Our laboratories are not undertaking research because of some reason. We go with larger problems, bigger problems, and we have our own protocol for development of technologies. But the startups, they break all barriers, go in a very informal way, and give instant solutions to most bothering problems. Is it possible to bring that kind of startups into our system to find out solution so that their time, their cost, but they will find solutions to us? But what is our responsibility? We need to create a platform for attracting such startups. I'm very happy to hear from respected Director General. Rural Development Olympiad is going to be conducted here. Probably, I'm also excited. Definitely, I will. Definitely, I will participate and learn. This is very exciting, event. I am sure that it will attract large number of startups. And innovations, it has to be a continuous activity. For example, we say people are not there to serve in any department. One estimate says that 3% of the serving people are retiring every year. Now, retired people, they served 3 decades, 4 decades, and because of good health facilities and all, physically, mentally, they are very strong. They are willing to serve the society. But are we utilizing retired professionals in our regular implementation of the work? So I made a small attempt actually by generating a platform called SEVA, Service Extension through Voluntary Association. SEVA is service. So I just made an attempt in 1 week in my previous assignment, not here. So in 1 week, we could attract around 500 retired professionals who are willing to associate with us. They told we don't want money, we want recognition, we want service opportunity. So instead of me going individual, I think if I go through organization, we can serve the people better. So organizations, we have tremendous potential to create that kind of platforms. And even rural development film festivals or agricultural film festivals can bring all the knowledge available in the different sources at one point, which can be disseminated to the needy people. And one of the important aspects is we spend, this is very sensitive, but I just leave it to the wisdom of audience. We implement a large number of programs. This is my experience after serving more than 3 decades. Large number of programs, we invest a lot of money in the name of agriculture, rural development and social welfare in many areas. But when we get into the program implementation, not all the programs are successful. But in a very routine way, okay, this year, over, next year, again we allocate funds and we can continue. We continue. Is it possible to examine which program should be discontinued in the interest of resources, time of the limited manpower? Is it possible to identify some schemes where additional resources can be put, whatever the resources we save here can be diverted there? And what are the innovative projects to be implemented? This is with respect to the program designing and implementation. Few things are very politically sensitive. I was part of bureaucracy. I know how easy and difficult to implement it, but definitely attempt can be made. Thank you very much, and I wish this program again success.